Just you're the first guy to sign out a portal with LSU this past summer. What was it? Just describe that process with LSU and when they called and you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I went in the portal and Jay called me within 30 minutes. Me being in the portal, I looked at my phone. I was actually packing my things up from Xavier, and I look at my phone and it's Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm like, there's no way. Like, this is Jay Johnson. I answer the phone and it's Jay, and he's, like, let's get you down here on a visit, just get to know him a little bit. Came here for a visit, Super Regional against Kentucky. Got to watch Paul pitch just because it got delayed. My flight got in at like 8:30 on Friday, or I think that was a Thursday. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I got to watch Paul pitch, which is pretty cool, and hear 15,000, 13,000 people screaming, and it was unreal. And that was really it for me. I was like, there's no way I can't come to a place like this. And yeah, it was pretty quick and easy, and committed right before they played Tennessee in the College World Series.
Why enter the portal in the first place?
It wasn't like a baseball thing for me. It just off the field I felt that I could put myself in a better position college-wise. I don't know if many people know about Xavier. It's a very small institution. They don't have a football team, and I felt that I was kind of missing out on part of the college experience. I wanted to go to a place that I could go to a football game in the fall, and I was like, all right, there's no better place than Death Valley, and yeah, so that was some of the main reasons for me, but it just felt like it was the right decision for me and the right time to do it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your game, I guess. What should we expect to see from you when you're out there?
Yeah, I'm really competitive. Probably one of the most competitive guys on the team. Even if it's in an inner squad, like I might get a big strikeout, I'm gonna yell. Like that's my personality. I'm big, not afraid of the pressure. Last year I pitched in the late innings role, and I loved it. It's something that I really thrived off of. I come from a school where it's not fans, so I had to use external internal things, not external things. So I really, it's me versus the hitter. Like it's a battle, and that's something that I really thrive off of, and people will see when I'm on the mound here.
Mainly fastball guy, or what do you?
I have a 3-pitch mix. I sink the ball really well, like down in the zone. Not going to see me pitch up in the zone a ton, but and then I throw a big slider and a changeup.
You mentioned kind of off the field stuff. So, since you've been at LSU, what's stuck out to you or surprised you the most about just being here?
Yeah, I had expectations when going to the football game. Completely exceeded it. I mean, we're sitting in the first row, and it's like I'm looking around. I'm like, I didn't even know that they could fit this many people in the stadium, and it's against Grambling, and I'm like, wow, this is unreal. And I mean, the campus is huge too. I love campus. The trees are amazing. Like the big trees that are planted all across campus. I love it. It's been awesome. Great experience for me so far.
Have you gone hunting or fishing yet with anybody?
Yes, I went with Scott Woodward.
Oh, yeah.
I went teal hunting in September. He took me, Nate Ackenhausen, Jay Bramblett, the punter, and Nussmeyer out, and Guidry. It was a great experience. We shot 2 limits of teal in like 20 minutes in back-to-back days. It was like, this is awesome. I didn't know there was this many teal in one area. Up north, we don't get teal like that. So, yeah.
So you had the whole experience then. That's good.
Great experience.
Football
yeah.
and hunting.
Is it going to be odd for you, exciting for you to face Xavier here earlier?
Yeah, not many people knew. I knew that we were playing them, that Xavier was coming here. They give their schedule to the players a little bit earlier than we find out here, when everybody else finds out. So I knew it was happening. It's going to be fun. I love those guys. Nothing but respect for them. It will be really weird. You're right. It's going to be weird looking in the other dugout at those guys. But yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
How much do you enjoy going outside and it's 72 degrees in February?
It's amazing.
So,
Yeah. Not many people. I'm from Minnesota, like we were talking about. This is unreal. It's like 50 degrees up there right now. There's no snow, which is completely unorthodox. But yeah, it's awesome. Like I'm going to be wearing shorts for practice. And yeah, it's unreal. I
How
love it.
come your cap is not tilted? I mean, you're a left-hander, right?
Oh, it's my bill is really weird on my hat. You'll see it during the games.
All
But
right.
it will be. Don't worry.
How do you like working with Coach Yeski, and what's that experience going?
Yeah, outside of him maybe chirping me about the Vikings, it's been pretty good. Yeah, he's great. Me and him have a really good relationship. I almost go in his office every day and talk to him. I can talk to him for hours. He's got so many different stories about guys that he's coached in his past, and yeah, it's really just more of like a friendship, I'd say. He obviously will tell me when I'm doing something wrong, but I can basically talk to him about anything. He's a great mentor and a coach for me.
You just said he could be a little bit more advanced when it comes to confidence or anything else when it comes to pitching? Like, why do you think that's the case, and what's kind of your background with that stuff?
Yeah, I think I understand who I am as a pitcher. You know, I'm not going to blow the radar gun up all the time. Right now, at least, maybe in the future I might. But you know, there's some guys that get caught up in certain things, and I'm not really one of them. I understand who I am as a pitcher, so I think that's kind of where he's getting at from there. I think, yeah, there's some dudes where it's just like you're not as in tune to who you are as a pitcher, and that I feel like I am, and I think that he thinks that as well.
Yeah, you have a pretty unique delivery. You know, is it kind of more side?
Yeah.
I mean, just talk about the delivery, maybe how that's kind of helped your success so far, and just what makes you unique as a pitcher.
Yeah. I didn't really have a unique delivery until I got into high school. I was more over the top, and in high school I was basically like Chris Sale. Like I cut myself off big time with my front leg, and I was coming way across my body, and it caused some control issues, and then I kind of fixed it once I got to college. But yeah, it's like a low 3/4 slot on the left side, and I just got a ton of run on my ball, and I'm difficult for lefties to face, and you know, once I got into college, it was really, I had to focus on how do I get righties out as well. But that's something that, yeah, it's a really unique delivery, and it kind of seems like I'm coming from behind the left-handed hitter.
Is that where the changeup comes in with the righties?
Yes, yeah, it's been taking a big step this fall. I'm gonna be using it a lot to righties and lefties this season.
Is that what you've been sort of working on, sort of advance and improve? And
Yes.
What's the process been like behind that?
Yeah, it's just getting really familiar. It's a finesse pitch. It's one of the hardest pitches to throw, probably the hardest pitches to throw. It's just, you know, throwing it as often as possible. And catch play, for me, I like to, at Xavier we shagged BP, but here we don't do it as much. But I just, you know, if I'm throwing a ball into the bucket, I am, you know, throwing a changeup. You know, just getting familiar with it, throwing it as much as possible. That's just how you can overall improve it.
I don't want you to crap on Xavier, but like, how much were the resources different, and how much has that helped since you've gotten here, kind of utilizing maybe some things you weren't afforded to you there?
Yeah, Xavier's actually really advanced for a mid-major in terms of their, you know, facilities and the things that they have offered. It's very similar to here actually. I think it's just more the different, you know, the amount of coaches that are here. There's, you know, 6 different guys here that are all wanting you to succeed, and you know, smaller schools like Xavier don't have the funds to be able to fund that many coaches. And here, that's the biggest difference for me, I think, is there's so many different people that are in my corner that are after every outing analyzing, you know, I might not hear about it, but Yeski might give me a little cue here, and that might have came from Terry Rooney in the back that he didn't tell me, but he told Yeski, and Yeski tells me that. That's where I see the biggest difference.
What's the competition like to be the Friday night guy, to be in the SEC rotation, to be the midweek guy? How does that make everyone better?
Yeah, I think we've said it many times in front of the media, this is the deepest staff in the country. I truly believe that. And like I said, I love competition. It's great. I think it makes everybody better. And yeah, I don't think we would be as good as we are right now if everybody wasn't, you know, just as good as everybody else. You know what I mean?
Did you watch last year's team and see, okay, this guy did play a very big role early, and then late in the year, it was do or die for the team, and he came through? You saw things like that with last year's team?
Yeah, Nate Ackenhausen's a great example of that. He obviously pitched a bunch, had a little, you know, injury, and then came back, and they wouldn't have won the World Series without him. So yeah, for sure.
Have you ever been on a staff with this many lefties?
No, I think we had like 4 at Xavier, 4 or 5. Yeah, it's unreal. It's unbelievable. I'm pumped about it. You know, I love left-handed pitchers. We all might be a little bit weird, but we can be weird together then, I guess. Yeah.
Has this experience come, so far you played a game that exceeded your expectations, you're getting around the facilities, it's actually looked at all these guys are in pro ball, come back and work out here, preseason banquets and tack, I mean, do you think a place like this ever existed in college baseball till you got here?
Not at all. No, like I said, I'm from the North. People don't really talk about college baseball in the North. It's college hockey, it's, you know, basketball, it's all the indoor sports, and, you know, I was playing at Xavier, so I didn't really get to watch, you know, this place. I think that really clicked for me when I came for the Super Regional. Like, I was like, this is unbelievable. There's absolutely no way that there's 1,000 people that show up to a banquet and the season doesn't even start for a month. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like on the first game. Yeah.
With Coach Yeski, I think it was Games the other day, was talking about how he sort of does a good job blending old school and new school. Like, what are your sort of thoughts on his philosophy when it comes to that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I come from a place that's completely old school. I hadn't thrown on a TrackMan until I got here, really, and just kind of being able to understand what the metrics mean, but also not, if I go out there and I give up 6 runs, which God forbid, hope that doesn't happen. I'm not going to walk in and say, oh, my metrics look great. That's not who I am, and that's not who Yeski is. But being able, he helps me understand what that means. So once I, go to pro ball or wherever the next step is, I understand what that stuff is, but also not completely basing my performance off of it.
Is there an aspect of your game you think you improved because this number showed this thing, or this force plate showed this thing, or whatever?
Yeah. What I understand is like how my ball is moving that day. Like I'll come and throw my first inning. I'll ask Jamie Tutko, okay, how much is my sinker running today? And that way, if I know it's moving 18 inches compared to 22 inches, I know I can start my ball here and it's going to run to this spot. So like for example, if I'm throwing to a right-handed hitter, I'm trying to hit the inside corner. If I know it's running 14 inches today instead of 20 inches, I'm going to have to start it a little bit closer to the plate because it's not going to run as far to get back to the plate. That's kind of how I use it. Yeah.
What's your usage been so far? Where you at as far as pitch count?
Right now I've thrown up to 3 innings. Like I'll throw 3 innings today. That's mostly what most of us have been doing so far. Yeah.
You're in the scrimmage today?
Yes.
How would you?
6 occasions.
Is it sort of fun having so many different types of left-handed pitchers? Because you sort of mentioned that earlier. Like, do you sort of learn and from other guys who are very different from you, like kind of like Cam Johnson, for example?
Yeah, it's really cool. I think just being able to understand how other people have success that is different than me. Like Gage Jump's going to pitch at the top of the zone. Like I don't do that as much. Like just kind of understanding that there's so many different ways to pitch, and I might have the same arsenal as Cam Johnson, which is the truth, I do, but Cam Johnson gets out completely different than I do. So yeah, it's just kind of cool seeing how other people are able to do it and have the same success as I do.
How's it been like working with this group of catchers, particularly Brady, who we just sort of spoke to?
Yeah, I love a catcher that's really, energetic and is fired up, and every catcher here is like that. Like if I get a big strikeout, they're fist pumping and they're excited just as much as I am. I love it. It's a lot of experience, and that's you need that behind the dish, and it's really cool that we have multiple guys like that.
How much hunting experience did you have before you went on that trip?
Did I have?
Yeah.
I am a huge outdoorsman.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hunted all growing up a ton. Every weekend in the fall. Yeah, that's my thing. But I miss out on it a lot being here and being a baseball player. Because we practice all fall.
Yeah.
Good, Justin?
Justin, how do you say your last name?
Lore.
Lore? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.